It's a 670 go-kart, dude. It's got 125 horsepower right here.
Today's video is sponsored by Blenders Eyewear.
What's going on, guys? Today we are here by ourselves. John left us alone again. So guess what we're breaking out? The 670 two-stroke on our go-kart. So we got this thing very close to being road track worthy.
Yeah.
If we put it on the ground, it would probably move just fine. But we have to finish welding up our engine plate, bars, whatever, bracing, and finish welding up our sprocket. I don't know.
We got a cooling system.
We got a cooling system we got to figure out, which John's got to help us out and order a... Hey, is that for short people?
I think it is. Yeah, that's what I just figured out.
Oh my gosh, I never knew that. So we're getting this thing very close to being done. So Charles, let's weld up the bracing, add some extra braces, maybe some gussets, and move on to just whatever else we need.
We got a lot of tidying up to do.
We got a lot of stuff we got to do to this thing, but we're getting close.
Yeah.
So let's get to work, dude.
Sounds good to me. Most of this bracing and everything for the jack shaft and I guess the engine mounts, they're for the most part tacked. I need to go around and finish welding like this stuff, this bracing, the bottom of this tube, make sure everything's kind of straight. We still haven't even welded this fully. So
the sprocket.
Yeah, the sprocket, sorry. And I think after that, I'm going to try and move to around the engine while Ike's doing some more research on that thing, on the engine, to make sure we can see if we can
either place that oil tank in a good location or eliminating the oil injection on this engine.
And we were just talking about it, if we had the oil tank here, even if we sprung a leak, it's cold oil. It's not going to be hot. So yeah, we want to put the radiator somewhere where we don't have a danger. It's not in the danger zone.
The radiator's probably going to go right down in that section right there.
Yeah.
With a fan, because
behind the seat.
It's behind the seat, so the airflow is not going to be great. But if the radiator popped, it's not like you'd get a shower of boiling coolant.
I'm more concerned about safety, and we can run the hoses through here and under the axle and out that way. So.
All right, so let's get the welding up and all that good stuff.
I'm glad we got a fresh bottle.
Yeah, man. It's looking good, dude.
Maybe one or two on the back side of that. But the bracing seems to be done on the front side for the engine. Then next I'm going to work on an exhaust hanger for the front half.
Oh man, can barely see any of the bracing with that big honking exhaust on this thing.
Yeah. Well,
alright, Charles has been working on the exhaust here. The hanger welded there to the frame.
They got another one that bolt the two together, and then this is going on the bottom of the exhaust.
Have a little bit of curve to it?
Yeah, have some curve to it because of the expansion chamber. And once this is welded, I'm going to put a few beads on the end, on the outside, so the hose clamps can't slip off. But basically, the exhaust sits here, and then hose clamps are going to kind of hold it down on that. So it's all removable. I'm going to get the weld done, hopefully. Cover.
Yep. So I've got the two-stroke cable right there, and I need to marry it to this cable right here. I'm going to have to shorten this cable and make some sort of a bracket welded here to hold the cable there, and I'm going to need to make a little adapter to adapt this piece to maybe a barrel nut or something. So that's what I'm working on.
Charles finished up most of the welding on the 670 two-stroke, meaning that all we have left to do before we ride this around the Cars and Cameras Dust Bowl track for the very first time is we have to mount the seat, which is important because the radiator, the coolant tank, and the oil mix tank all mounts to the seat bracket. We need an exhaust hanger, and we need to plumb our fuel and oil tanks together.
All right.
So we're coming up with an exhaust hanger to mount to the frame,
Trying to.
and Ike is doing his best to.
I'm trying to balance things.
Would you quit complaining?
I'm gonna weld and not say cover. Not cover. I know that sounded like a lot of gap welding, but I was actually filling the end of the tube. It's hollow tubing, so now it's welded strong. Lowrider.
I remember that thing was kind of a booger. So we're starting to work on the cooling system on this Rotax, and I noticed that it has 3 hoses coming off the engine. And so I'm like, what's going on here? And I got to looking, and we have 2 upper hoses for the upper part of the engine, and I was thinking to myself, what we probably have here is a thermostat in here, and when it opens up, it blocks off a passage, and you get like just a recirculation until it gets hot enough, and then it opens up the thermostat and it gets the cooler coolant. And I believe that's what we have here. And I think that if we just block this off right here, just put a plate there, we can just run a regular standard radiator on this thing with no issues. Of course, just to make sure, I'd like to install some sort of a temperature gauge so we don't cook this engine, because it's a pretty cool engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to simplify things on this. So less weight, less things to go wrong. You know.
Sounds good.
Speaking of radiators, here is the radiator we're going to use. This is just bought off the internet, cheap. Don't even remember what it comes off of, but it has these convenient bolt holes that we can use to mount it to the chassis. We're thinking right about here is going to be the best spot. So it's away from the brakes, away from the chain, and most importantly, is away from our head and back if we have a blowout, basically.
Right, and of course we'd run a electric fan on it,
Yeah.
because that seat is going to block all kinds of airflow.
Right, so we need to leave room for that, but my task for the rest of the day is going to be building some brackets so we can mount it to the frame, and then figure out our hose.
Awesome.
Cool.
What do you think about my airbox?
What airbox? Oh my gosh.
The radiator is almost ready to get mounted in. Charles has been building some brackets, and those are ready to get tacked. They look good. I was tasked with coming up with this block-off plate for this coolant piece that Ike mentioned yesterday, as well as cutting out these circles for my goggles here that are going to go on the intakes for our new intake adapter, basically. So, which brings us to our Crossfire Pro.
Cover. Yeah.
That was interesting to watch. The one thing I really do like about this table is that, like, cutting this out, you have a really high risk of, like, cutting your hand. Now you don't. You just gotta clean it up and good to go.
Oh, sweet!
Not done yet.
That's right. There you go for that negativity, man.
Oh, yeah!
Really?
Man, what?
He's gonna get in the measuring tape.
Man, that looks good.
I like it. That was way easier than the jigsaw.
Let's measure it and all that. Oh yeah, definitely way easier than a jigsaw.
Well, at this point, it's all my fault if it doesn't work.
Exactly.
All right, it's starting to warm up outside, which means we're going to be outside more than we already are. So thank you to today's sponsor, Blenders Eyewear, for keeping our eyes in shape while we take on more sun and speed.
Blenders Eyewear has tons of cool styles and colors to choose from. Whether you want sleek black shades or to be bright and bold for your next party, their quality is second to none. These sunglasses are built with an attention to detail while also being affordable. And Blenders makes prescription glasses, blue light glasses, and snow goggles too. Plus, they have a 45-day satisfaction guarantee. What I personally love about Blenders Eyewear is the sheer diversity of shapes and styles and colors that their sunglasses come in. I love the racing stripes on the side of these particular shades, and they are very comfortable. The fit is super nice, and they're very sleek feeling as well. And polarized is also very, very nice, especially at this price point. Get 15% off by going to blenderseyewear.com and use code CarsandCameras VIP. Thank you again to Blenders Eyewear for sponsoring today's episode. Now let's get back to the build.
So the brackets are welded in and
It's tight fit.
it's a tight fit.
We got Watt.
What?
What?
Watt. Watt.
What?
Oh.
A wide open throttle?
Watt.
W-O-T.
Watt.
I'm scared. That means that
This
is really happening.
This is 5 horsepower. This is 125.
Our intake adapter's cut out, and I put a couple coats of paint in there to keep it from rusting and then eventually flaking into the engine. So we have these block-off pieces we're going to be welding here and on the other side, so then we can cut out more fish mouth pieces to put some Go Power Sports style pod air filters on, and that's what the engine is going to breathe through. So I got to tack this thing in, and the same with the other side. This is just scrap, so I'm going to do a little bit of gap welding.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, but
You're qualified.
now that that's tacked in, I'm going to go to Gap Town. I'm going to weld it the rest of the way up. This welding table that I'm using is something that we manufacture and ship out and sell on our website, cars-cameras.com. It's designed specifically for the Vulcan 350-pound capacity welding cart. It bolts right onto the side of it, no modification required. And the best part is, it folds up, and it's no larger than the welding cart when it's folded down. It's a whole lot better
Look at that.
than welding on the floor, that's for sure. So if you like what you see, you can check it out on our website, cars-cameras.com. Earlier I talked about how we're putting some old Go Power Sports air filters on this makeshift air box. Well, we need to cut some more circular holes, because these are our adapters that we're going to put our intakes on. So that's what we got right there. I'm going to weld it and then mash that over so that it seals. But we need to cut some holes, so I figured why not grab the plasma cutter from the Crossfire Pro, and that's how I'm going to cut these circles out. So, here we go. Cover.
Yep.
I think it's cool. As fast as you want to go, it'll cut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not my cleanest work, but
It's
I
hard.
haven't used a plasma cutter in years.
It's hard to keep a steady hand. Oh, and save button go. Nice hammer.
Cover.
Yep. Nice.
It'll work.
Yeah, we got our gap welding certification in,
Yeah.
so don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry, Ike. Come on. Nope, stay back.
Looking good.
Good.
Velocity stacks. How could you go wrong?
Alright, so how do you feel? Wait a minute. Let me make it more comfortable for you, alright? Here we go. Here we go. There you go. There you go. Now you can go for a ride.
That's really solid. That's a brilliant idea. It's not bad. It's a little tight.
So it's got,
It's for like kids, I guess.
okay.
Good for you.
And me. That's funny. So
Did you not know about that?
I did not. No. That's cool. That is a bit of a stretch.
Oh, he's gonna have to use it.
Yeah, at least for the gas, for whatever reason, the brake doesn't go.
Well,
as far.
you're at an angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are really close to taking this thing around the Cars and Cameras Dust Bowl. We have a few items left. We have to plumb our radiator, coolant lines. The intake is painted. It's just drying, and then it can get installed, and then that's done. We need to run fuel line and all that stuff for our oil mix, or no?
We got to run the oil lines to the engine. We're going to keep using the automatic oiling system.
Yeah.
Because they say that they don't give any problems on this model.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why. But I would like to maybe add just the tiniest little bit to the regular fuel tank.
Why not?
Just the tiniest.
I'd rather foul a plug than a cylinder, than a
The
jug.
problem with having too much oil in it, you make the engine too lean.
Oh,
when you
yeah.
make it too lean, you burn a hole in the piston.
Yeah.
That's no good.
So you might think you're doing good by adding extra oil, but you're really not. So you just the tiniest little bit, and then we'll let the oil injection take over. You know.
We definitely need some kind of chain guard and guard for the drive system, but we're not going to be doing that today because we're running out of time. And this is just kind of a shakedown anyway. Around the Dust Bowl, we're talking like 25 miles an hour, if that. And you know, I can drive one-handed.
Not the danger zone. Put your elbow in the danger zone.
Danger zone.
Danger zone. Kenny Loggins.
So we have some steel. We're going to be building a big old guard in another episode before we find some tarmac to take this on and really see what it'll do. I think it'll be a smoke machine that like one of those that you hit the gas and like it hooks and just makes giant clouds.
I hope you're right.
That would be cool.
That would be
I want to
too
do a
cool.
360 in this
Yeah, I want to
thing.
do a 360 so bad.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
It's like, all right.
Yeah, I'm checking out on that one.
All right, so we are right there. We're going to put our noses to the grindstone and get this done so we can go for a ride. Here's the finished product. Not bad. It's our air intake. I cleaned it out the best I could and then put a bunch of coats of paint so that if there was any loose dirt in there, it's just painted down now.
It's a good idea, man.
Yeah, so we need to install these boots, and then our pods can go right up there and it can get installed.
That thing is going to look pretty cool, man.
Legit.
You're doing a good job on it, man.
Thank you. A lot of moving parts here. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. It just all of a sudden went into place.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
It's not bad.
Hold on, let's get the full effect.
I tilt those back a little bit. Like, rotate them where they aerodynamic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the other one? Right here. So we were planning on giving these away with recent merchandise orders, but we realized that we needed them. So we substituted a couple of other items out with these. So don't worry. We're still giving a bunch of parts away.
Oh, I'm sure those will probably
Merchandise
make the
orders.
goodie bags anyways.
Yeah, these are bad. We should
Yeah.
clean these out before we actually fire it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Compressor.
Yeah.
Yep, fast forward a few minutes, and here we are. I haven't had butterflies like this in literally years, since riding the cross kart for the first time, I think.
Or the eighth grade prom.
Or the 8th grade prom. It's ready to go. So we might test fire it here, but otherwise we're just going to load it onto the trailer and take it down to the Dust Bowl oval track, because it's so low to the ground, I don't think we can ride it across the property. And we're going to see what this thing is going to do.
And we bought 50-50 pre-diluted, so we should just be able to fill it right up with this. We might need to get it started with the cap off, let it circulate, get the air bubbles out so we don't have an air pocket, because we've got some custom piping going on. But other than that, I think we're good to go.
So Ike is pulling it over, just making sure that the oil and fuel pumps are working.
Man, I don't remember it being that much of a pain.
Yeah, it's hard to pull, buddy.
Very good. taking it.
Okay. It's like you don't think you're gonna get that worn out, but it kills you.
You gotta be a man.
All right, Ike, you do it.
Show us how to do it, Dad. You got your kill switch hooked up, right?
Yeah.
It hit earlier.
I know.
It did, yeah. So I think we're just.
I'm wondering if it's
I think we're being weenies.
I think we're being weenies.
Let's see if I can sling the gas on the head.
Yep.
Well,
There's a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's soaking wet.
Oh, there's sparking already.
Oh yeah.
Keep going. Even in his jacket, he's
I just got it.
his power jacket.
I know. Bosh.
All right, I got you, boys.
One more. I got
Okay.
one. I got one more. I'm like Ike in Texas.
Whoa.
Oh.
It's like it's not picking up fuel or something.
Yeah, because we never had this problem when we were gravity bottle feeding it.
We were gravity bottle feeding
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
That IV drip.
I bet those fuel pumps are bad.
You bet the fuel pumps are bad? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hoses down there.
All right.
Are you ready?
Wait.
Oh, you want to do both of them, or
One will be good enough.
one will be good? Okay.
Let me give us a little bit of fuel here.
So I'm gonna try.
All right.
Route that up so John can see it. All right, so that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, we got fuel.
We got fuel.
Interesting.
Sorry that hit you.
Oh, it's all right. The plot
A lot
thickens.
of power. We do not have the low oil sensor hooked up back here,
And
but we're full on oil. So, but unless it's unplugged, maybe it's.
it was unplugged and it was running for us.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't
I'm
hurt
just
to-
trying to troubleshoot this thing. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it could literally, like, if it was the low oil sensor shutting it down after it running a little bit, that'd be something.
I mean, it's acting like it's not getting.
Yeah, no,
any
I'm
fuel.
with you.
So this thing's acting just like the floats are stuck. We have fuel delivery from the fuel pumps. Will not run on these carburetors. It'll only run with the choke on, which is funny on this. The choke on this is 2 vacuum lines going in front of the carburetors, like in between the carburetors and the engine, and it had a knob on the snowmobile, and you would press the button which would pump gas into that intake. So technically you were flooding it to crank it up, and so when we put fuel in that, it runs perfect, but will not run on its own. So we're pulling the carbs off, and we're gonna see what we find with the carbs.
Sounds like the floats are moving, but sounds like the carburetor's also not full
Sounds
of
like
gas.
it's dry.
Yeah.
Let me come out here and
We'll pop the drain open, right? Yeah, no, the door's shut on us. Before.
come over here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You don't think that carburetor's doing anything?
You can hear
Stop
the
float?
floats.
I can hear the float shaking around almost like it's dry. So let's see.
You got it? Okay. Oh, whoa. That's
Well, it's not dry, but
That's nasty. Really dark.
we got some garbage in the bottom here, guys.
Hmm.
All right, maybe we ought to just put this in the ultrasonic cleaner and.
Order in 2 deep cleans, sir.
Yeah, I think so. It's just kind of weird that.
Ignition?
No, because it works fine with the
Yeah.
choke on. Like when I feed
Yeah.
it fuel, it's fine.
It was running
But
great.
it
yeah.
runs great. He can sit there and rev it up.
Other
The
than
second
yeah.
I take my little bottle of fuel away, the thing runs for about 5 seconds and then dies.
And with a main jet like that not clogged, you would think that the vacuum would want to pull some fuel through there.
You would think so.
But
Could be.
And we haven't done anything different than the last time we ran this in your shop,
No.
other than hook everything up properly.
We had
think.
the fuel gravity fed.
Yeah.
But we cranked the thing over with the fuel line off the carburetor, and it was just dumping the fuel, so it's got fuel.
It does, yeah. I'm confused.
So when something weird like this happens, we just usually deep clean the carburetor or both carburetors so we can just cross that off the list in our troubleshooting. Because if you just half clean a carburetor, you still could be having carburetor problems. So we're gonna be cleaning some carburetors and we'll get back with you on Monday.
Charles spent a few hours this weekend rebuilding the carburetors.
They were nasty.
Yes, they were. So we're gonna try to fire this thing up now and see what we can see if it'll keep running.
My shoulder's been resting, so hopefully I'm ready to.
Yeah.
Golly.
All right, so let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Man, I thought it had it.
I thought it did too.
Let's try it again.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and fix this fuel leak and try to get it idled down some.
Yeah. It was
You didn't mess with the idle screws,
Nope,
did you?
not at all.
Okay, you didn't get them mixed up, did you?
Nope. Yeah, I did one carburetor at a time, and
Okay.
I didn't mix any of the stuff
Okay.
up. So.
Well, I was thinking the slides,
Oh no, I hadn't.
because we flopped them over a certain
Yep.
way so they'd go back.
Yep,
and
I
you
did that. I didn't tangle them up anyway. So.
So I don't know why it's idling so high, but we'll just back out on them screws and hopefully get this thing idling.
Sounds good, man.
So Charles found the fuel leak. It was a little nick in the line from where we took them off the last time, off the carburetors. And I believe that the idle was so high because the cable had a little bit of tension on it, not allowing the slides to come all the way down. So I've got that taken care of, so we're gonna crank it up. And hopefully, fingers crossed guys, this thing's gonna sing perfectly. Almost there. It sounds good.
It does.
Yeah.
I think it's ready for the track.
I think it is too.
Oh, you all right? Yeah.
It's a 670 go-kart, dude. It's got 125 horsepower right here.
Now you're on the ground.
Yeah, but I don't.
You're safe.
I don't want you to hurt your back, man.
Well, I'm more worried about your hip.
So standing right here, thing looks pretty intimidating. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared. I mean, this, you know, most first drives with anything with a powerful engine, a little scary.
We had a little team powwow, trying to be as safe as we can with all things considered. Let's do it.
Almost there. One more.
That's pretty loud. I gotta get out of your way.
Spark plug wire came loose.
Holy moly.
Oh my gosh.
This thing is
It's
scary.
bananas, isn't it?
Thank you. Dude,
Dude, it did a 360 effortlessly.
yeah. This thing is so scary. It's there.
Okay.
Like, the only way this right here on this side, I can't even play around. That side where it gets dry, it's party time over there. And dude, I actually felt this thing like push me in the seat
Oh, on the dirt?
on the dirt for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the best chances for it to actually grab traction on this wet.
Yeah,
it's
'cause you got, like,
ice on this wet.
You got
It's
300
better on the
pounds
dry.
on
Oh,
it.
it is?
Yeah,
Wow, okay.
yeah.
So I
Yes.
think you're going the right direction for it to have traction.
Yeah.
Turn left.
Yeah.
Whew. That looks wild, man.
It feels wild. It's so smooth though.
Is it really?
It's smooth. It's like riding. It's like when you accelerate, you expect like the Ducarti. It's like this thing
It just goes.
just goes.
That is cool.
CVT, baby.
So do you have the same phenomenon with the Ducarti? When you hit the gas, it wants to do a 360?
No. Well, okay. I haven't. I've been just easing on it.
Yeah.
I haven't stabbed it from the get-go.
Yeah, it doesn't really have enough traction out here to figure that out either, does
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Well, you want to give it another go?
Yeah.
And then we'll,
And then I think we need all-out track.
okay. Like, I've never heard something so loud that I want to throw up, but this actually does it, so.
What was rattling?
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay.
You ought to try it out at least once.
Dude, we need some kind of
one
exhaust on there.
Just one rotation.
Oh.
Just one.
You gotta try
Alright,
it.
fine.
Ready?
Of course he stabbed it right out of the hole. Okay, I think he's done. Do you need a diaper change? I get the wipes. Do you feel it? He's frozen with fear.
Hold on. When you get out of the gas and get on the brake,
Yeah.
you're still accelerating.
Yeah, that's because the tires are starting to slow down and gain more traction.
I like that kind of science. All right.
Want to?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll do the same thing you just did,
Yeah, it's
but
all-
not as much gas.
It accelerates. One lap, Charles.
Okay,
You
that's
got a
it.
baby.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Get some of that dirt off your teeth. You ready?
background is crashing.
Yes, you gotta wear that. You did high side.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I did.
Yeah.
I'm safe.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, we're all.
Good job,
job,
boys.
guys.
We're all
Here.
still here.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
sure the police will be arriving any moment. And we'll just tell them we had a chainsaw that,
ran away.
yeah.
That chainsaw ran away.
This is impressive.
Yeah, this is nutsy.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm pretty much speechless. But I guess the one thing now we need to do is just make it a little safer, drivetrain wise.
Chain guard,
cooling fan.
cooling fan.
Muffler.
John wants
yes.
a muffler.
What do you mean John wants, dude?
No, my ears want a
I
muffler.
think our neighbors want a muffler.
Dude, I wish we had a decibel meter out here for when you go by.
It's easily the loudest.
Oh, it's
It is the loudest thing
It's
we've
coming
ever done.
close on 750 straight pipe, but
When you go by, you can feel the
Yes.
engine. It's
It
not
hurts.
just the ears, it's your whole body. It's just like, you
kinda
know the
like-
brown note?
yep.
I think we found the brown note.
Yeah.
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 This is it's like Formula One.
And on that note, we will catch you next time. We have improvements to make, but this is easily the scariest go-kart we've ever put together. That being said, it can still be manageable if you can keep your foot out of it. Quieter, safer, and we're gonna try to find some tarmac to run it on. But until then, subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up for the two-stroke content, and we'll catch you next time. We're gonna go change our underwear.
The most important question, can we still play lowrider? Oh, it doesn't sound the same.
different.
Flip it, Charles, flip it.
Flip the drum set.
Uh-oh.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Ah.